So, but you have in all that in Zachariah, in the book of the Apocalypse, it has, when the 1,000 years were over, 1,000 is the fullness of time, really between the first coming of Christ and the second coming of Christ. After the 1,000 years are over, that interval, when those who are served the Lord will reign with him. Then after that, Satan will be let loose from the earth, Gog and Magog, and that is where we are now, Gog and Magog. And you are he whom all the prophets have foretold. All the prophets, every single one, they speak of the small problems that confront, to the great problem, to the great triumph of the Lord. And so every single prophecy, whether it is written in symbolism or parable or direct, has that reference. And you have into the book of Esther, you have the dream of the two dragons, man in God's image and Satan, or man in the image of the beast, where the two predominates. God's image, God's life, the tree of life predominates, or beastly man predominates. So they are at war, but there are 2 days of lots, first for the single nation and then for the whole world at large. And you will notice that when you go to describe the beast, it is marked that the beast itself has 7 heads, and but one of the heads is greatly wounded, and so the 8th head is the beast itself come to life. The wound that has been healed has come back to life. Basically, the beast is communism in our day. But I hate to put just that symbolism because it seems to put it totally in the political field. It is one huge diabolical power that is set to destroy God's people, whether it gets into religion secretly or outwardly, or it gets into education, or it gets into politics, or whatever it does. And but the beast itself is the 8th, yet it is part of the 7. And then 1 hour, the rest of the 10 kings have their time after the fall of the 8th head. So after the single nation, because basically speaking, the head is a king, Antichrist. And it is diabolical where he gets a hold, is a beast itself in the personification of all the horror that is in him. While after that fall and the overcoming of, you might say, this is a time of where God makes a separation. He will make a separation, the single nation first, because God's people are strong. There are many people. God's people are stronger now than they ever were before. God is giving out his graces right and left, no matter who. Go out on the highways and byways. He's calling. I don't care what you've done, come back. But there is a judgment. And there is a judgment to what is a single nation, to what is called, the name is a mystery, the nation that has power over all the other nations of the world. And after that, you have the 10 kings continually at war with each other. So basically in Zechariah, in Daniel, you have times of life were appointed for them, for a time and for a times. So the times and half a time is not just 3.5 years. When I say these things, I will go over them. You don't have to understand it all. A little by little, it has to come to its fore because it is all referenced into it. But in the single nation, the struggle, you have the original first time. The half time is a time when the change, when the power, when God overcomes in a single nation, and yet the rest of the world must go through its own struggle. And this is a sign, the warning to all the rest of the world. Come back. You're going to destruction. You're running. I don't will it. I have given you a sign. I've made a division in one nation. Now I make the division in the whole world. Come back to me. And that is what. So don't believe that we are not in these times. First of all, I want to, unless you think of what the situation is now, we are going into communism. Don't have any doubt about it. We are. But he who is to take the full power has not come yet. In Daniel it is marked that he must bring down 3 kings in order to make room for him. I think he's already brought down one. It doesn't have to be. And and the kingly power will not be given him. He will take it by fraud. And so that is what lies ahead. But God is with his people. Don't underestimate. Let's see, I want to extend. In that one, there will one rise up a while and unworthy of all kingly honor. And there will stand up in his place one despised, and the kingly honor will not be given him. And he will come privately and take it by fraud. And he will rise up against the prince of the covenant. Our Holy Father is what it is. And who shall be broken down before him? And he will take away, cast down the place of his sanctuary, and take away the continual sacrifice. He will appear to triumph. But God is with his people. This is where you will see God's working. God will work miracles as he never worked it before. In the past, he has said, you have seen miracles, but I will also work miracles now. So believe in God's guidance. Believe in his presence. Believe that God is present with his people. Draw close to him. To serve God is the only thing in life. There is nothing else worth living. We have only this short time. All life passes. All time passes. I don't know how far I've gotten into these, as I want to say, but believe in God's love. Believe in his mercy. As he said to Faustina, his mercy is his greatest attribute. Don't worry about your struggle. Don't worry about your fall. Don't worry that you can't succeed. Only try. God doesn't ask of you the victory. He asks of you the effort. God can give you the victory. He said, without him, you can't. You can't. But if you trust in him and take advantage of his mercy, wash yourselves white in his blood, he's calling you. Come back to him, and you will know a joy that no one has ever experienced, only in the Lord. I promise you that, and God promises it to you.